Hey, what's up guys? John here. If you want to know what the future of America is going to look like, pay very close attention to the biggest private equity firm in America and what they are doing. Blackstone. They just acquired 1,060,000 square feet of prime real estate on Park Avenue in New York City. The CEO, Stephen Schwarzman, has predicted a major upcycle coming for real estate, and they're doing acquisition after acquisition, buying Ancestry.com, Jersey Mike's, Tricon Residential.
Investment firm Blackstone to buy Jersey Mike's subs. It's valuing the sandwich chain at around $8 billion, including debt.
Blackstone announced it plans to buy the Toronto residential property developer for $3.5 billion.
You name it, they are on a rampage, expanding. And with over $2.6 trillion in dry powder held by private equity firms, in an environment where the middle class is struggling unlike any other time we've ever seen, we're going to likely witness a period of massive consolidation by smaller private equity firms and even bigger consolidation by larger private equity firms like Blackstone. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's going on to help you as a business owner prepare and I believe capitalize on a world of change coming very, very soon for America. Please hit the like button when you do. YouTube will share the content to educate the people about what's going on in America's economy. Take a look at this. Blackstone finalizes expansion of 1,060,000 square feet at 345 Park Avenue. Happened 4 months ago. Well, Stephen Schwarzman, real estate upcycle happening now. When you look at private equity dry powder, $2.59 trillion in dry powder. And you look at family offices, they're sitting on so much money. They're getting ready to deploy it. Blackstone strikes an $8 billion deal for sandwich chain Jersey Mike's. This came out yesterday. Then they acquired, just a few months before that, Tropical Smoothie. Now Tropical Smoothie, they're doing over $1 million per location. And this is a multi-billion dollar deal that they recently closed on. Atlanta, Georgia, and New York, Blackstone announced that it will take private equity funds managed by Blackstone have completed the acquisition of Tropical Smoothie Cafe, a leading franchisor of fast casual restaurants from Levine Leichtman Capital Partners. This marks the first transaction of Blackstone's most recent vintage of flagship private equity vehicle. Now, they close on that. Then they close on Jersey Mike's. Then Ancestry.com in 2020. Now, this is a huge acquisition for $4.7 billion. And why this is so huge is if you look at the future with generative AI and what they're going to be able to do with DNA, it's going to be shockingly valuable to Blackstone because they're going to be able to sell this to insurance companies, to pharma companies, you name it. And they're going to make endless amounts of money from this.
I'm talking about this.
Remember the television show Forensic Files, where they would find a fingerprint, they would find a strand of hair, they'd find a glove or a shoe, they'd find something that offered very little value back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. But then science advanced, and then they were able to take that little bit of information that they had and crack the code and put somebody behind bars and close a case decades and decades later. Well, imagine being the acquirer of Ancestry.com, taking 3.6 million people's DNA, their active subscribers. They've submitted this DNA and walking into the fourth industrial revolution where there's AI and they're able to find the highest and best use. Think of what that DNA will mean in the next 5 and 10 years to a company like Blackstone. A lot of people thought, hey, I'll do Ancestry.com. I'll find out if I'm part Indian or part Chinese, or I'll find this out and it's going to be fun. Well, it's going to be even more enjoyable and more fun for Blackstone to acquire all that data because people just voluntarily gave it away.
Whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
New York Blackstone today announced that private equity funds managed by Blackstone have completed their previously announced acquisition of Ancestry from Silver Lake GIC, Spectrum Equity, Permira, and other equity holders of a total enterprise value of $4.7 billion. Currently, Ancestry investors, GIC will continue to retain significant minority stake in the company. Ancestry is a global leader in digital family history services operating in more than 30 countries. The company has over 3.6 million subscribers with annual revenue over $1 billion. The company harnesses the information found in family trees, historical records, to help people gain a new level of understanding about their lives. Ancestry also operates in marketing as market-leading consumer Genomics, business which informs consumers about the heritage and key health characteristics. Now, if you are Aetna, you're Molina, you're any of these major healthcare providers, what would you pay Blackstone for information on 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 customers that have policies, active policies? Well, you'd probably pay a fortune.
Shut up and take my money!
Because underwriting the wrong policy might cost them $1 million, $2 million, 200 grand, whatever it may be. Very, very, very big expenses associated with underwriting the wrong policy with the wrong risk. Imagine being seriously injured and missing out on millions in compensation just because you didn't know where to turn. Many law firms settle for low-ball offers, leaving victims with far less than they deserve. It's frustrating, unfair, and sometimes they even charge you before they win. That's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. America's largest injury law firm fights to get the clients the compensation they deserve. And the best part, you pay nothing unless they win. They've won $12 million in Florida, 34 times more than the insurance offer, and $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times more than the insurance offer. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Features no upfront fees unless you win. Over 1,000 attorneys and a dedicated legal team to fight for you. They handle everything for you, and it's incredibly easy to start your claim. Your injury could be worth millions. You can visit the link in the description box below this video to start your claim today. Right? So we're going to see a major shift unfolding across this. And then they took private Tricon Residential. Tricon Residential, Blackstone remains committed to Tricon's development platform, including $1 billion pipeline of new single-family homes in the US and $2.5 billion pipeline of new apartments in Canada. Plans to improve quality of existing US single-family homes through an additional $1 billion of capital projects. Now, when you look at what Blackstone did in 2011 with Invitation Homes, how they expanded that company to roughly 80,000 single-family homes, inside of their, inside of that umbrella, think about what they're going to do now. They have over $1 trillion in AUM, $1 trillion in assets under management. They're expanding in literally everything from data centers to DNA to sandwiches to smoothies, you name it. Right? What are they going to do? They're going to deploy more and more and more money. When Stephen Schwarzman comes out and says, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to act on it. That saying that a real estate upcycle is happening now. Blackstone called the bottom of commercial real estate market earlier this year. John Gray and the rest of the company's top brass say that they've had to put $22 billion into real estate this year, nearly twice what they invested during the same period last year. The investment giant reported strong quarterly earnings Thursday. Net income totaled $780 million, or $1 a share, up from $552 million a year earlier. So it went from $552 to $780 in a year. As a result, Blackstone's stock shot up over 6% to $170, an all-time high. In real estate segments, inflows fell to $5.8 billion from $9.1 billion in the previous year, but the firm deployed nearly $1 billion more capital into real estate in the third quarter, $3.6 billion in total. Blackstone thinks the Federal Reserve's decision to lower interest rates will drive more real estate deals, both for itself and others. We expect lower base rates will be supportive of transaction activity and deployment. Now, Jonathan Gray spearheads the real estate division at Blackstone, and he's done an incredible job expanding that segment, that arm of Blackstone's business. And I think what he's going to do over the next couple of years under Stephen Schwarzman and Blackstone and the investors that are supporting Blackstone, it's going to be unbelievable. I would bet that when they say CNBC and these major outlets come out saying that they're going to own 7.4 million homes in the next 5 years, an 800% increase, it's going to happen. Right, we're going to witness this major consolidation. I believe a lot of this consolidation is going to be coming from regional banks. They hold 70% of commercial real estate debt, and they have a lot of debt in the residential space as well that they're going to need to offload in the coming year or two. Now, are they going to put it all in the market like we saw in 2008, 2009, 2010, when you would drive down a normal American street and see 4, 5, or 6 signs for sale on that street? I don't think so. I think they're going to be unloading blocks of debt, bad residential and commercial debt, to private equity giants like Blackstone, like Pretium Partners, like a lot of these other major companies. And I think we're just going to see this major shift in America unfold in the hands of private equity. Now, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, pay very close attention to what they're doing, because the odds of them being wrong, I think, are close to zero. They have information that's way better than anything that you and I have. They're operating, they have inside information, they're operating at a different level. And if they're all doing this, they're all moving in the same, hand in hand, do you think they're incorrect on this, or do you think that they're capitalized on this for a reason? I'm betting that they're thinking that the next 5 years is going to be extremely lucrative and extremely profitable for them, and Blackstone is probably going to be a $2 trillion company in the next decade. Schwartzman cited other positive signs in the market. He said Blackstone has seen 2 to 3 times the number of buyers showing up to buy things like apartments and logistics. As we work through this cycle and values recover, you'll see a pickup in sales, and you can feel that happening now. Well, he's with 1,060,000 square feet in Park Avenue. He's right on the money. Finalized its deal to expand footprint in Rudin's 345 Park Avenue. Now, what I'm betting on is logistics is going to be huge. Data centers are going to be huge with AI. And we're just going to see a lot of, the last couple of years, we saw a lot of HVAC companies, plumbing companies get rolled up into dental offices, getting rolled up by smaller private equity firms where they might roll up 10 or 15 or 20 dental offices and sell them. Well, I think what we're going to start seeing is these private equity firms acquiring tons and tons of these roll-ups and putting them all together and building out massive conglomerates and building out a competitive niche inside of all these different aspects of America. Before it was one attorney's office or maybe 2 dentist office, maybe they'd have 2 locations. In the future, it's going to be very different. We're going to see everything getting rolled up, everything, and it's going to be in the hands of corporations and private equity firms. It's my prediction. Now, if you are an entrepreneur or business person, pay attention to what they're doing. Look at how fast they're moving. Look at the industries in which they're penetrating right now. If you are someone that has really big goals, if you can get as big as possible in the next couple of years, you're going to be rewarded for it. Because good chance, if you have a really, really, really nice niche around your business, a great moat around your business, people are going to try to offer you some big money to try to get a hold of it. Because it's just too complex to try to build a business from scratch, and an acquirer would rather just strike a check and have everything already done for them. And I think we're just going to see a wave of acquisitions coming in America. And some major opportunities to invest in real estate and major opportunities to make a ton of money, like an unbelievable amount of money. Now, a lot of people are looking out at the world right now saying, oh, everything is horrible, everything is, it's the end. But you look at what the smart money is doing, it's just the end of the middle class. It's just the end of, the bottom 90% or 95% over the next 5 years. But if you're an entrepreneur right now, you're somebody that really has big goals, it's not the end for you. If you're really putting in work right now and you're working intelligently, you're going to be able to go out there and create more freedom and more opportunity for yourself and family than you could have ever imagined. Because everything in the world is changing. Let's have a conversation about this below. Really curious as to what you think about this entire situation, what Blackstone is doing, and how the world is changing. And for more information on today's video sponsor, you can click the link in the description just below this video, and I'll catch you next video.